Good afternoon. Welcome to our Wednesday devotional time. I imagine that most people who will watch this devotional are members or friends of First Baptist Church of Milford, where I serve as pastor. Today I'm going to speak as if I'm speaking only to you, members or friends of First Baptist Church of Milford. As I begin the new year, 2021, I set a theme for our church, but I haven't emphasized it very much. In fact, when I realize it's mid-February, and I've only emphasized it a couple of times, I realize that I need to do that more. The theme is this: each one reach one in 2021. I wonder how many have set that as our goal or our plan for this year. I wonder if we're really concentrating on leading someone to Christ. I wonder if we have yet on our heart and on our mind a particular person for whom we're praying and for whom we are burdened about his or her salvation. I was reminded of this when I was studying a passage in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 19 and following. Recently, in these 4 verses, Paul's the writer, uses one phrase 5 times in 4 verses. You would think that has to be an important phrase. If you're looking at a Bible, or if you're not, listen to this as I explain to you what he says. In 1 Corinthians 9:19, he says, "For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I may gain the more." That's the phrase, that I may gain. He repeats it 4 times in the next 3 verses. He says, "Unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I may gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I may gain them that are under the law. To them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under law to Christ, that I may gain them that are without law. To the weak became I as weak, that I may gain the weak." What's that phrase mean? Why does he continue to repeat, that I may gain? Well, the last part of verse 22 explains it, I think, when he says, "I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some." His heart's desire was that people would be saved. His heart's desire was that he could lead or win people to Jesus Christ. In fact, the word translated gain all 5 times is the same word, and it has 2 meanings. The first meaning is to gain. The second meaning is to win. Paul was saying that he wanted to gain or to win people from all these walks of life to the Lord Jesus Christ. This should be the heartbeat of every Christian. I think, however, that wrong thinking keeps us from winning people to Christ. Many, and perhaps many of you, members and friends of our church, feel that leading people to Christ is the pastor's job. He's the professional. Let the professional do it. Or we even pay him to do that. Well, I'll tell you the truth, I love the joy of winning people to Christ. And it's been my joy over the years to win and lead a number of people to Christ. But I see a couple of problems. First of all, those that don't try to win people or lead people to Christ missed out on a great, great joy. One preacher said, "It's a high moment when one person can take the hand of another and place it in the hand of God." That's what leading people to Christ is. Others have described it as similar to the joy of fishing, when it's fun to fish, but it's much more fun when you actually catch a fish. Much more exciting when the fish takes the bait. It's fun, and people miss a great joy when they don't lead people to Christ. A second thought is this. Some people think, well, people get saved in church services at the invitation time at the end of the service, or at the altar call at the end of the service. And that is true, and I'm glad for that. But the fact is that more people respond to a personal presentation of the gospel and a personal invitation than do, in most cases, to a public invitation and a public altar call. I recently read about a fisherman, and this I think will tie it together. I recently read about a fisherman who edited a magazine or something. I don't remember all the story. But the wife of a good friend of his family, had a husband who loved to fish and always wanted to fish, but he worked so hard that he rarely ever had the time to fish or the opportunity to fish. Well, finally he retired, but then he was hesitant to go fishing because he didn't know anything about casting or tackle or flies. He just didn't know. So the friend told this wife of the retired non-fisherman this, and this was his advice. He said, what Jack needs is an old pair of sneakers, an old pair of trousers, and a bottle of insect repellent. He needs to catch the fun of catching fish. Let him learn how not to catch fish later on. Every Christian needs to experience the joy of fishing for men. Tell people how you were saved. Tell them what you do know. You don't have to worry about what you don't know. You don't have to worry about things that they might ask. You tell them what you know. The Lord may let you have the joy of catching some fish, or gaining some, as Paul said, or winning people to Jesus Christ. Let's make it our plan this year, starting today, that each one reach one in 2021. Let's tell someone today. God bless you. I trust you'll have a wonderful day.